Hola a todos, nosotros somos Arquitectura y Sociedad y estamos en Milán. Hi everyone, we are Arquitectura y Sociedad, and this time we are in the World Expo 2015, Feeding the Planet, Energy for Life. Today we have been together with Fosbury Architecture and Parasite, two architecture young officers from Milano. We have been visiting the pavilions, and after that we're going to have a small discussion about Milano, what's going on in the city, why it seems like everything is possible, and join us for it.
Tell me where you thought you saw me. Tell me why you asked my name. Tell me how you come to be in this place. Tell the story how you want to. Make up all the details. Tell me what feels good, I don't care.
So the first question we have, why Fosbury?
Yeah, where the name came from.
Well, this is quite an easy question. Actually, around the story of Dick Fosbury, we gathered together at the really beginning when we decided to create a group, collective. Actually, Dick Fosbury was an athlete, and he won the gold medal in 1968 in high jump technique in the Olympic Games of Mexico City. And he was no one before, and he just started doing the things from another point of view, actually. Before they were all jumping with a specific technique, he studied a new technique in a very precise way, jumping from a completely different point of view, and he won it. Afterwards, he never did anything important. And the story for us is not to say that we always need to do things from another point of view, but it's always a reminder to us to look at things from another point of view, actually.
How did you guys got together as a group?
Well, instead of the collectives in the 70s, where they were gathering together around a precise idea, a precise political idea and ethic in the job they were making, we have felt like it was a kind of necessity that we should follow, because in order to face this kind of crisis that is happening now in the role of the architect and in the architecture, especially in Italy, where we are too many, we felt it was a good idea to gather together and being too big to fail, in a way.
Being too big to fail.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet each other?
Well, now
The half of us meet during university. The majority of us didn't go in Erasmus, so we stay a lot in Milano.
Very
And,
local.
Yeah, super local collective. So for half of us was a sort of, how to say, let's say people, like interesting people during university meet each other and start to collect discussion about architecture, about life, about way of working, and each of us after a certain period of time, brings also a part of their friends or connections inside the group. So at the beginning we was 3, and after I don't know, like 6 months, maybe less,
more or less,
we become 8 people. So Federico comes from Mongolia after managing a master plan in Mongolia, and was a friend of mine. But in few months, we became a real big family, let's say. Even and like in all the big families, there are a lot of contrast. This doesn't mean that we love totally each
More
other.
than colleagues, we are friends.
We are a big group of friends, of colleagues, of workers, of youngers, so with aspirations. And let's say that the university was the real big, how to say,
the
pot.
platform.
pot.
Okay.
And all of us comes from this strange place, let's call the university in Italy, which is not easy. And maybe to escape from the university, we found a solution, a sort of solution of the problem of university with a collective. Maybe this could be also an answer.
For the eyes of the world, it seems like Milano is exploding. You have the Expo, which is a new feature. You have Salone del Mobile every year. You got Fashion Week. You are having a lot of urbanistic changes. You're opening rivers. You are building skyscrapers with trees on it. It seems like Milano is a city that is developing. How is Milano as for your eyes now?
Well, I think what you're saying is true. I mean, you get this impression while you're walking in the streets of Milano now. It's like you feel that Milano is trying to embrace the changement. It's trying to really do something out of this expo here. So it's we felt and we decided to have our own office here in Milano because we think it's the place to be now in Italy. It's the city that allowed the most changement within its roads and within its urban issue. So it's a town that is not afraid of changement, while I think Rome could be more afraid of changing because you will lose a lot of tourists if we start rethinking about something new. But Milano have never been that beautiful for tourists. So it has all the opportunities to be better, and it's the place, I think.
We know all about the crisis in Europe, and mostly in Italy, Spain, Greece, these southern countries. Us as architects, we have it really bad with economics, and there's that kind of tendency of going away from our homelands to survive. But you guys decided to stay in Italy. Why to stay in your country instead of going to Switzerland or another Austria to get better payment?
Well, we can say that the reason for which we choose of stay in Italy is quite easy, and is the fact that we consider this crisis as a huge opportunity in the end. An opportunity for different reasons, economical one, because here there is a crisis and prices are lower and we can find our space here to stay in Milan, just for example, and then the fact that it is an opportunity. Every time in history, after a deep crisis period, there is always a very huge changement, and we think that staying in Italy is maybe a way to try and change things from inside. That for us, sharing the same cultural background, sharing the same ideas, the same also university formation, it could be much easier that spread around the world or around Europe.
Of course.
Yeah, to come back and what? So start from Italy for us is basically this: try to find a good occasion in this crisis moment.
And going really deep now for me, like I would like to ask this question. Are we about to see the new renaissance in Italian architecture? You know, because of this crisis. That sounds pretty cool, I know, but I mean, piano is going to die at some point, and you take the crisis. What do you think about this? Fosbury, are we gonna see the new renaissance in Italian architecture in this century?
No,
Because of that.
I don't think we're about to see the Renaissance. During the Renaissance, there were too many factors getting together to create actually a rebirth moment, and so fast. We are not about to see a super speed rebirth after the crisis. But the point is, the problem before the crisis was that it was going too fast, getting nowhere. We were going down and we were not aware that we were going somewhere terrible, let's say. So the 80s, the 90s, the last period was a crazy fast period. Now we are going slower. The crisis will be very long. It's already a long period, and it will last long afterwards. And we think that in this slow period we can rethink the practice, we can rethink the theory, we can restart, and not in a Renaissance way, but with a reasonable way to restart doing things in a proper way. We stay in a. This is a good way to work. I mean, we are very, very fast. We are young, and we can learn things very, very fast. And it's a good way to start. It's a good moment to start for us in this critical moment. I wouldn't say always crisis. It's a critical moment for architecture, and we are in a good position now. Italy, Milan, most of all, it's in a good moment, and we strongly believe that the future is, of course, better than now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to escape in Switzerland. It's terribly boring.
Yeah.
I want to stay here, and maybe it's tough, but at least it's alive.
Yeah, well, if you accept your theory of Renaissance, Renaissance means literally rebirth, like a sort of cultural palingenesis. But what we like in the theory of Renaissance, it was that it's a period of sharing ideas between cities, like as a sort of intellectual crossroads. Like if you have to set a specific point of your Renaissance theory, we like the idea of not having any more sort of figure of architect that is heroic, a sort of intransigent kind of architect as piano, as you previously mentioned, but a sort of common ground where we can share ideas and in a way starting to develop really solid in a way assets and basement for a new culture. That's our task in a way as a young architects.
Okay, that's interesting because we're about to ask how Fosbury Architecture works from inside, you know, because right now you have 2 members in another place, and I want to know how did you guys deal with this and how did you work inside, you know, when you take a project?
Yeah, well, that's an incredibly difficult answer to answer because like we are 8 people, as you said,
yeah.
and we never been in the same room together, like in between. We are based in 2013 and we've never been in that condition. So we didn't have a picture in which there are all of us together, and it's funny. But that's an opportunity, like they are in another country, they know other people, they know a different kind of environment that is totally different. I've been there for a certain period and I had the feeling that something different is happening there. The Netherlands is not in that crisis, but they need this cultural growth, so they maybe can answer better their condition.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we are doing now is a temporary organization. Our organization is keeping changing, and I think this is also an opportunity to add new things, new fields of study and research for our collective. Actually, till the relationship with us will be maintained, we don't feel distance as a problem, but rather as a feature, an element that can make the group stronger.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, third part of the interview. By the way, we are here in their new office. They have just rented it out, and it's so nice to be here. I would like to say cheers and salud to you. Antonio, what would you like also to say about?
I would say congratulations. I mean, we actually so lucky because we actually are seeing how this great architecture office started growing up, and maybe we also are being like how to say this witness of this new great office, maybe in Europe, I don't know, but it's great to start to be here since the beginning and record all these walks, all the steps you are walking. And I mean, I just want to say congratulations for this, and I hope the bird is coming for you. You're up.
So,
Salud, guys.